Well, I'd like to hand over to Dave, my best man. He is a legend, he is a great guy. But sometimes I think he lives in a parallel world, which causes him to invent fancy stories.
Get in there first.
He really does believe these stories to be true, and I thank you for humouring him during his speech. Thanks, Phil.
Right, well, thanks for that, Phil. So anyway, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you hadn't realised by now, I'm the best man. My name's Dave. As most of you have seen, Phil's speech was absolutely fantastic, and Carl's was so-so. So I've got a bit of a tough one to follow here.
Careful, Dave, careful.
Now, when Phil asked me to be his best man, I was absolutely over the moon. Firstly, that he was going to be marrying one of my best friends in Kate, and secondly, that he bestowed the honour on me to be his best man. And then a couple of pints later, it dawned on me that this speech would be coming. Now, sensing my dismay and my concern, Phil said, "Don't worry about it, Coxie, just stand up and act like an idiot, like you normally do." So thanks for that, Phil. It's going to be a tough 3 minutes for you. So, I believe it's customary to thank the customary to thank Phil on behalf of the bridesmaids for his kind words. I've got to echo that as well. They've done a wonderful job helping Kate today and over the last few months, and I'm sure you'll all agree they look absolutely beautiful. I'd also like to thank Lucy as well for helping me out get the groom to the wedding today as well, so special thanks to Lucy. Now, for those of you who think Phil would have been really nervous, I know a few people have come up to me today and said he looked absolutely cool as a cucumber. I can confirm that last night he slept like a baby. He woke up a few times crying for his mummy and he wet his bed twice. Now, I'm going to try and not keep you all too long as well. I know most of us are only here for the unforgettable spectacle that is Phil dancing. For the uninitiated, get ready for a treat because it is brilliant. Now, Kate, you look 1 in a million today. Phil, you look like you were 1 in a raffle.
Very good.
But seriously though, Phil, it's a real honour being best man to such a fantastic friend. Someone I can turn to for advice and who's helped me through some really tough times over the duration of our friendship. Phil's always been there and supported me, something that I'm sure he'll do for his beautiful new wife, Kate. I'm so pleased, Phil, that you found someone so special in Kate, who, as I've mentioned already, looks absolutely stunning today. Now, Kate, you've been a close friend to me now for 13 years, so it would be remiss of me not to mention the 14-year-old girl who, along with Lucy, beat me out with a hairbrush in Thornbury. You know, you've grown into a beautiful and elegant young woman, and I know you're going to take care of my best friend. I've never known a couple so perfect for one another, so today I'm really proud of you both, and congratulations. So I wanted to do the job justice today, so like most people do these days, I turned to the internet. It can be difficult, especially when the missus is out as well, to get distracted. So I set out one thing it did mention was that I needed to find out about Phil's many good points. So about 3 hours later and still absolutely no further with his speech whatsoever, it got me wondering what I'm sure all of you here are thinking to say. What is it that Kate sees in Phil? It could well be his looks. Looking at him now, you might not believe this, but Phil wasn't a pretty baby. Tina didn't get morning sickness until 2 weeks after he was born. And family planning became available about a couple of weeks later after that. If it's not his good looks, it could well be his impeccable dress sense. The first time I saw Phil, he had bleach blonde hair, had managed to drill a hole through his finger, was wearing a Hawaiian shirt with Big Ben on, and was carrying half a crate of drunken Budweiser. Now, if Kate didn't fall in love with him, I know I definitely did. Now maybe it's the fact that Phil is a strong and powerful man. Exhibit A, if you can all see this here. This is the handle from a disabled door at the 23rd annual Swindon Beer Festival last year. Phil had skillfully managed to lock himself in and promptly had to smash it apart in order to escape. So in conclusion, you keep that there, mate. So in conclusion, I'm afraid I still have absolutely no idea, but Kate must have seen something special in him, and I'm positive it wasn't the fact that he got you drunk beforehand. Now, what I'd like to do now, though, Phil, is give you some advice on what people thought were the ingredients to a long and happy marriage. Now, last weekend, as you know, we all spent some time at the lake house, which was absolutely fantastic. I turned to the father of the bride for some advice, but I was told this had to be a family speech, so I'm going to keep it completely away from what Carl told me. So here are a few others that I gathered, Phil. Now, firstly, set the ground rules and establish who the boss is. Then do everything that she tells you to. Secondly, never be afraid that Kate's going to leave you, mate, because she spent time training you and she ain't going to walk away from that soon. Whenever you're wrong, Phil, be a man and admit it. And whenever you're right, just say nothing. As they say, a wise man who gives in when he is wrong is a wise man. A man who gives in when he is right, well, he's married. And also remember that married life can be compared to football, but given you and Carl's little analogy earlier on, you probably don't like this, so for everyone else in the room, it can be compared to football. So be fully committed every week. Make sure you score every weekend. Make sure you change ends at half time. And put your tackle in hard or you might injure yourself. However, Kate assures me that playing away from home will result in a serious groin injury. And it's going to be the quickest way to get yourself on the transfer list as well. So before I finish, I've got a couple of closed messages as well, in fact just one, saying congratulations on your special day, Big Phil, and for being Big Spender of the Month in May. We'll miss you and hope the belt marks have faded. Love Roxy and the girls from the Fantasy Lounge. I can only say that's been your work. Seriously though, I would like to thank you both. I'm absolutely delighted for you. You are both an amazing and beautiful couple, and I'm immensely proud to have shared this special day with your family and your friends. Always remember, in this rich and beautiful world, there are only two things that really matter: love and happiness. And I wish you both of these things every day as a couple for the rest of your lives. So it now gives me immense pleasure, not to mention personal relief, to ask you to stand and raise your glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs. Allen. Mr. and Mrs. Allen.
Cheers. Cheers. Well done. Well done. Brilliant.